The Royal Rumble. 30 WWE superstars fighting for that optimal chance to main event WrestleMania. But sometimes, the intrigue of the Royal Rumble isn't so much who's going to win the Royal Rumble, but who's actually going to be in the Royal Rumble. Today in this video, I'll tell you 7 surprise entrants I'd like to see in the 2019 Women's Royal Rumble. Let's do it. What's going on out there, world? It's your boy Tommy on the spot. Thanks so much for checking us out here on Watchalong Wrestling. Before we get into the video, make sure you do leave a big thumbs up and subscribe if you like what you see, and be sure to follow me over on Twitter at WatchWrestlePod. Alright, so we're just a couple days away from the 2019 Royal Rumble, and this will be the second year in a row that WWE presents 2 different Royal Rumble matches, one for the men and one for the women. Last year was the first ever Women's Royal Rumble, and so it's great to see that the Women's Royal Rumble has become an annual tradition and something that everyone looks forward to each year. Obviously, with every Royal Rumble comes tons of speculation as to who's going to return. In last year's match alone, there were 11 surprise entrants. Now, obviously, you must be wondering, well, what's a surprise? What constitutes a surprise? And so I'll tell you. It can be someone who's currently under the contract with the World Wrestling Entertainment, but not on one of the 2 major brands, not on Raw or not on SmackDown. So that would make anybody on the NXT roster and anyone on the NXT UK roster eligible as potential surprises. Number 2, somebody who is on the main roster, but who hasn't been seen in several months, either due to injury or just simply not on television for however many months. So that would make them eligible as a second surprise, as a second criterion, so to speak, for a surprise. And lastly, number 3, bringing somebody into the company, whether it be a former legend, whether it be someone who's never wrestled for the company, but who maybe people are excited to see, that would be a surprise. Without any further ado, let's get on to the countdown. Number 7, Toni Storm. If there's anyone who's taken the WWE by storm over these last year, it's definitely Toni Storm. She was the second winner of the Mae Young Classic tournament this past summer, and just won the NXT UK Women's Championship by defeating Rhea Ripley at NXT TakeOver UK Blackpool. Toni Storm gets the crowd excited and has fans all over the world, and I, for one, hope it's Toni time on Sunday. Number 6, Kaitlyn. There's a big misconception amongst wrestling fans that the women's evolution that started in 2015 was the first time that we had good women's wrestling on WWE television since the days of Trish Stratus and Lita in the Attitude Era. Kaitlyn, a former WWE Divas champion, was having great matches throughout the years of 2012, 2013, and even 2014 before her career abruptly came to an end. Kaitlyn did return this past year, though, as a contestant in the Mae Young Classic, and it would be great to see her return to the Royal Rumble. Number 5, Eve Torres Gracie. Eve Torres is another example of how women's wrestling really wasn't so bad between the Attitude Era and 2015. The former 3-time WWE Divas champion and legitimate badass had great matches up and down the roster during the years of 2012 and 2013. Eve also made her return as a special guest commentator on the pre-show to WWE Evolution pay-per-view. It'd be great to see Eve Torres back in the ring to prove she still has a little left in the tank at the 2019 Royal Rumble. Number 4, Io Shirai. For a number of years, WWE fans around the world were clamoring for the debut of Io Shirai. Rumored to be coming over from Japan since as early as 2016, Io finally made her debut in the Mae Young Classic in 2018. The Genius of the Sky had excellent matches with Xia Brookside, Deonna Purrazzo, Rhea Ripley, among others, before unfortunately falling in the finals to Toni Storm. Despite the loss, Io Shirai has impressed NXT fans around the world with her innovative, high-flying style, and that style would be sure to make an impact in the Royal Rumble match. Number 3, Shayna Baszler. Last year, 2 different representatives from WWE NXT made their presence felt in the Royal Rumble in the form of Kairi Sane and Ember Moon. Conspicuous by her absence, however, was the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler. Since that time, though, Shayna has taken over and run roughshod over the entire women's division in NXT, going on to become the first ever 2-time NXT Women's Champion. The time is now for the Queen of Spades to make her presence felt on the main roster, and which better time to do it than the Royal Rumble 2019. Number 2, Melina. If you were going to make a list of your top WWE female superstars of all time, your list probably wouldn't go on for too long without thinking about Melina. The former manager of Eminem and John Morrison made her presence felt in her own right as becoming a multiple-time WWE Divas champion. She was even heavily rumored to take part in this year's WWE Evolution pay-per-view, taking on Naomi per Naomi's request. Unfortunately, that never happened, but that didn't mean that people weren't excited about the potential of Melina's return. What better time to have her return than at the 2019 Royal Rumble? Alright, before we get to the number one choice for potential surprise entries in the Women's Royal Rumble, let's take a look at some quick honorable mentions. Layla L. While her partner in crime, Michelle McCool, made her presence felt in the 2018 Royal Rumble, Layla was nowhere to be found. It would be great to see a LayCool reunion at this year's Royal Rumble. Eva Marie. Alright, hopefully I haven't turned off the video, but let's be honest, it would be pretty cool if one more time we heard about the bodacious, the bombastic, the red-headed, all red everything, Eva Marie. But Eva is going to be taking place in Celebrity Big Brother, which kicks off on January 21st, so she very well might not be ready for the Royal Rumble itself. And lastly, Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke. Now granted, these two ladies have just started their career in NXT. It would probably be very, very quick to bring them up to the main roster. That said, if WWE has their heart set on at some point doing a 4 Horsewomen of MMA against 4 Horsewomen of WWE feud, you might be able to see these guys come up a little sooner than originally expected. Who knows, we might see both ladies join Shayna in making their presence felt in the 2019 Royal Rumble. Number 1, AJ Lee. Alright, so this one's a long shot, and I know that, but I'm going to say it anyway. It would be awesome to see AJ Lee make her presence felt at the 2019 Royal Rumble. It's been years since we've heard anything from AJ since her WWE career ended when she announced her retirement in 2015. 4 years later, AJ is still under the age of 30. Obviously, there are some major issues between WWE and her husband, CM Punk, but AJ did wrestle for the company for over a year after Punk's exit in 2014. If there's anyone I'd like to see as a surprise entry in the 2019 WWE Women's Royal Rumble, it would be AJ Lee. So there you have it. 7 surprise entries I'd like to see at the 2019 Royal Rumble. Is there anyone I left off? Anyone you think doesn't belong on that list? Let me know in the comment section below. And be sure to leave a big like and subscribe to Watchalong Wrestling for more great Royal Rumble content throughout the week. Until next time, everybody, I'm Tommy on the Spot. You take care and have a great day.